everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Gate with Dustman and Nate. I'm Dustman, and with me to bring me another fine episode, my dog Nate.
What's up, everybody? Nate here, and on this week's episode, we've got the local Deonte.
Hello.
We're gonna learn all about his BMX story because he's got a lot of history with our man Dustman here, and we're gonna get to know all about that. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna get right to it. All right. So, you want to tell everyone your whole name?
My name is Deonte Jackson.
And where you started racing at?
I started racing at Rockford.
All right. And who do you ride for?
Freeport BMX. It's our local race team.
Right on. And what class are you in?
1720.
Right on. And how long have you been racing?
For good... Well, I started back in 2013. Then I had to quit because I did traveling soccer. And I came back 2018.
How long you been riding for,
though? Probably since...
You don't know. He was little.
12.
Yeah, he was smaller than that, I think.
Yeah.
He's come down and was like, man, I think he was probably like 9, 10 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah. He'd come down and his hair was like, dude, it was like...
When I used to have a whole bunch of hair, I used to always have put in a ponytail, but then also had like my little short kind of bangs.
Yeah.
And they just poof up like that, so it looked really messy.
What kind of bike did you have? What kind of bike did you have back then?
I had a red line.
It was a red line?
Yeah.
Man, it didn't sound like a red line. It sounded like the janitor's keys, you know? How like, oh my God, it's like ching, 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 ching. Like every time he'd come down the trails, bro, I thought he was gonna like, I thought the whole bike was just gonna fall apart, like everything, like just I don't understand it. But he'd come down, and I'd help him out a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good kid. I know him from the local.
So let's see. So how long you been riding trails? You know what I'm saying? Like, so
riding trails.
That was when you first started, and that's what got you into BMX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went down there with my brother one time. Then I seen everybody there. You were there. Then Chad was there. Winton, JP, everybody was there. I didn't know anybody at the time. Avery come over and say what's up to everyone.
Yeah.
And he was just introduced me one time. Then I was just trying to ride the track. And I remember the first thing you said to me was, don't ride that track backwards. That was one of the things.
Yep.
And
that was still the thing we were preaching out there today.
Yeah. But you definitely, that's what definitely got you good at riding BMX, and I think that's what got you to. I'm glad that it got you to the track, you know. But your brother was really good too. But I know a lot of times that you come down the trails all by yourself.
Yeah.
And that was when he was probably like 10 years old. He'd be down there all by himself. And so what kept you coming down the trails and kept getting you going, and why did you go racing?
It's just from where all my friends were standing and where like how much they're in the streets, it just wasn't for me. Then when I went down there for the first time, I was like, dang, I like this.
Right.
So then I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And just kept doing it. And that's where it got
trouble
me.
For sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I spent probably like 12 o'clock. Oh, like right when I wake up, get in the shower, everything. I'm like, I'm going to the trails.
Yep. That's the thing to do.
Yes, sir.
And just be down there until like 9 o'clock until the mosquitoes come out. It's like, oh, time to go.
Hard to ride in the dark.
Yeah, by the time I get home, it's ready to eat and ready to go to bed.
Or your mom's calling you to tell you to get home.
Get home, cleaning your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Avery.
Right after school, I ride my bike to school in the morning. Right after school, just go directly down to the trails. My parents know where to find me.
Yeah, and he looked like a little cotton ball. Like his head was just a cotton ball, and he was just a little stick on the bike. He's tiny, super tiny, and the bike rattly.
Most definitely heard me coming down the trail to get into the entrance. Like, oh, Deonte's here.
Yeah, but he was definitely one of the most respectful kids down there for sure. Because I had a whole wave of kids that came down there, and like a lot of them just
there was a good amount of us.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah. At least 12
a lot
kids.
Of little baby kids.
Yeah.
So when you how old were you when you first started racing?
When I first started, I was in 3rd grade.
In 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you stay racing for the first time around?
I raced for a good 2 months. I got my first wins in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rode for like 2 months, and then you had to stop to.
Yeah, because we realized I can't do both of them at the same time.
Yeah, it's really hard. I myself came from playing traveling soccer and doing that, and then decided to race bikes instead. And I mean, it's a lot of fun. I like it. Do you like it more than soccer now?
What do you mean?
That's what I thought.
That's funny.
It always bikes us harder.
It's a lot more funner.
Yeah,
Definitely.
There is no bench to sit on.
I've never played soccer, so I can't. I mean, I played with my friends, so I can't really say that I've never played, but
Yeah.
I can't say that I would go play in a league. I was always,
Fair enough.
I've been on the bike since I was 5, and I just never stopped. That was my thing. That's why I'm as good as I am. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I should have started younger.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helps a lot. I wish I'd have had a strider, and I would have started even younger. But you know, the kids are lucky they get striders, so
Definitely.
I'm kind of jealous about that. I miss my strider days.
I wish somebody would have told me a lot earlier.
But so what was your first? Where was it at?
Like
First race?
Yeah, where was your first race at?
Rockford BMX.
Was it Rockford? Okay.
Yeah.
And what place did you get?
My very first race, I got second.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. And so was that the red line that you were racing then?
No, I actually got after the red line. I got a GT. So it was a little Intercept GT.
Yeah.
I remember those.
It was completely stock. It was brand new though. So
Yeah, so definitely.
Most definitely a big upgrade from my red line.
right. It wasn't jingling.
That's good.
Yeah. So you stayed in racing for, you said, how long then the first time?
The first time?
About 3 years?
Yeah, 3 to 2 months.
So you quit. Why'd you quit?
Because, during traveling soccer, racing is every, Sunday or Saturday. We didn't, play games. We always had tournaments. And so it's, Saturday and Sunday. Sometimes it'd be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep, I definitely remember those days, too, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a hard decision to find out which one I wanted. But after I kept after soccer practice, I'll still be in my jersey and go down there and ride trails.
Yeah.
One day I just had it with my team because it was just a really bad game. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm here. I could be at the trails right now riding my bike.
Yeah.
And there was actually a kid on my soccer team that actually raced BMX on the Freeport team, and I never knew about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was wondering why some games he would not come to, and they're like, oh, he's out riding bikes, and I never thought that they meant BMX.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think one day my coach asked, when you're not here at soccer, what do you do? I'm like, I ride trails. He was like, trails, ride bikes on trails? Yeah. It was so kind of the same thing as Zayden does, and I'm like, I never seen one down there. I never seen one down there before. And he was like, really?
Yeah.
So that's when I caught my eye, oh, I didn't know you raced.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And I was yeah. And I was like, that must be what Duddy does, because Duddy used to always come down there right after races.
Always in the Superman outfit.
Oh, yes.
Superman outfit.
Yeah. I raced today. I stayed in it. So that's a shout out to Mo, you know?
Always representing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he stays in his jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes down, race jersey, have his pants. Sometimes he would still have his clips.
Yep,
and
doesn't
just
matter.
go down.
Doesn't matter. It could be in Crocs or sandals.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either he's out down there riding and training, or he's working on the jumps, making them better. Yeah, I remember those times where we would go down there, and sometimes we can't ride the trail because he has the horn turn slide open.
Hold on, we're fixing this whole thing today.
Yeah.
And one day I went down there, and I was completely surprised how much he got done. But where the second straight is, there used to be a gap with the double into one jump, and that was the first time I seen something like that. And I tried jumping it one day, and I crashed. I never even made it to the land. It was like, whoop, whoop.
All right. So when you first started, you came back. What did you how far did you get in? And did you get any wins, or Like, how far did you get in your novice class?
My novice class, I had like 2 wins.
And that was the first time?
Yep.
Yeah.
And when I came back, it was decent because I came back like for one of the free races.
Mm-hmm.
That was with Ryan, and I got first that time.
Yeah.
But then I only raced that one time, and then like I think that was the only time I raced that one time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you so when you came back, that's when you started to go and actually went into intermediate.
Yeah.
And then how long did it take you to get into intermediate?
A day.
A day.
Yeah.
Did you just turn it yourself intermediate?
My first race was the Midwest National.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he smoked it. I think I remember. Didn't you?
Yeah, I won all 3 days.
Oh man, how did that feel?
It felt great. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt good. But then after I turned intermediate, that's when I was like, oh.
Yeah. Like I might have made a little bit of a mistake here.
Yeah.
Like I probably should sandbag down one of the days. Just like accidentally crashed over,
Yeah, but I wasn't really thinking about that.
Right. It still just felt good to be able to get them wins, huh?
Yeah, just like right there.
Yeah, yeah. And what kind of bike were you riding then?
I had bought an Haro from JP from down there at the trails. I was racing at, practicing.
What kind of Haro was it? Do you remember?
Race light.
Was it race light?
Yeah, it was wrapped at his Bob Marley.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, when you came back and how fast did you go? You said you went one day. That was how old were you?
I was 16.
16 novice.
Yeah.
16 hours. I mean, that's still going to be a pretty stacked lot. Like, there's still a decent amount of fast kids there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not something that's super easy for someone who's been that long off the track.
Right.
I mean, obviously, you got the skills. Like, I remember, like, seeing you that weekend, and, like, you were just smoking everybody.
Yeah.
How many riders did you have? Do you remember?
There was 6 of us.
Okay, there's 6.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
What were you thinking in the gate? Because, like, being so, like, I mean, not new, but, like, newer to, like, the sport and stuff, like, that's
I was like,
lot.
I was still, like, new. Then, like, that was my first big race. So I was like, I was like, everybody's just standing still. They're, like, in stealth waiting for the gate to drop. I'm over here shaking, about to fall off. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually signed up today.
Then you're coming out like a racket smoker.
Yeah. But I think it was mostly the adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Go do your biggest race, like your first one, and you win.
That is.
And went
insane.
directly to intermediate.
And then, how long did it take once you turned intermediate to turn expert?
It took me a whole year. It took me a full season because I was actually just now like learning how to do more stuff, like manualing and like getting like jumping without going straight up.
Yeah.
And like speed jumping and stuff.
Got sky and everything because the trails.
Yeah.
They're learning that skill set. And it's just almost a different animal on the racetrack.
Yeah. It's completely different. But once I got the hang of it, then I started using clips. And the first time I used clips, I fell out of gate probably like 3 times. Like back to back.
Fell over?
Yeah. And what set me off was my first race with the clips, and I crashed because a kid hit me. Then like the rest of the week, I was really startled and shake to use my clips in the middle of the race. Like should I wear some of my clips or like tough it out or something like that? I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to use them.
Yeah.
But then it started getting better.
Right. So, as your intermediate, who was one of your biggest competitors in intermediate class?
I never had an intermediate class, so I always raced the experts, and it was Justin Holmes and Noah Roach.
Yeah, and then that's who you got good with, huh?
Yeah, always took a line. I was always following someone, and that's where I started getting good and started taking my own line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so you were intermediate, and you remember went to the Grands and was in ROCs. You want to tell me about that story?
It was interesting because I was actually doing really good. Like my first round, I think I got like third or fourth, and like I felt good about it. So after I did my second round, I got first.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to semis, and that's where like everything just went downhill. I had a bad gate. I slipped out of the gate, and I caught up to everybody. By the time they got to the turn, I'm already in fifth, swerving through people, and through the berm, I'm passing third and second, and getting up to the leader, and I'm about to pass him, and he comes over a little bit, scares me in the middle of the jump, and it sketched me out, and then went out and landed dead on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So, after that,
ain't that when you broke your collarbone?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's never gonna heal right, they said.
Yeah.
Because it overlapped like that, and they couldn't even get it over a little bit more to even flush it out.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Like you
got a knot in there?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's okay. Yeah. I've broken mine 4 times each, bro.
Oh,
like
man.
you can literally see it lift up when I've separated my shoulders, both my shoulders from my collarbones, and broken both 4 times each. They told me I needed surgery on
yeah.
I think I need surgery on both of them. Like, I don't know, maybe twice a time.
When they said,
they were like, oh yeah, I'm like,
there's supposed to be a plate there, but never mind.
Like, I'm not gonna like, to me, I think that if I make it solid again, it's just bad, you know. Like, I'm good, bro.
he said next time when I break it out, make sure to get it back up there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if I break it again, I break it again. You know, whatever.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So with that being said, how many bones have you broken riding?
Well, I actually broke a really weird spot. I broke right here in my hip, and my hip came out of place. But I wasn't racing at that time. I was down at S&P.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oof. What'd you do?
It was the last jump, and I went to go do an X up, and my bar got stuck.
Oof.
Yeah, and it came down.
That's why I got this scar right here. But I think it's this one. I think it's right here. I don't know. It's right in my eye. I was in Indiana after I did that full sweep. I won the whole weekend, and I found a jump in the woods up the road, and I did that same thing, dude.
Yeah.
Except I did turn down. I did turn down, and I got stuck because my foot was in the way, and I couldn't get my tire back, and I landed right on my face.
I had a hoodie on it, and it got stuck right there on my pocket. I couldn't move it. I was like, oh god.
Yeah. At least it didn't hurt. You know, I'm like, I got up, I'm bleeding, and there's like these people riding this trail past with like their little helmets on, you know, they're mountain bikes, and they're like, oh my god. And I'm like, I'm good, don't even worry about it, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm good. But my wheel was like, I was like, oh man. Yeah. So, what was your biggest crash then?
My biggest crash was the collarbone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as when I did the hip, I didn't really feel it until like a good hour later than I realized it, and we went to the hospital. But when I broke the collarbone, I finished the race. But then, like when I was going to finish it, I didn't realize that I broke it, and I was trying to jump. And I think when I did that, it made it worse because I was like, I could feel my whole shoulder just move back like that.
Yeah.
And I think like right after the race, I had my friends waiting for me at the finish line, like, dude, are you okay? Okay. I'm like, yeah. And right when I said, yeah, I'm okay, that's where it's just like everything just flashed and just whoosh, and I just had a really irritating ring in my ear. Then my dad came up, and my dad was albino. I'm like, I'm not okay. Wow. And I just started freaking out. Wow. And then they took me to the med bay, and that's when I realized that I'm literally like, I'm starting getting really lightheaded and I'm about to pass out. And then that's when they said that I need to go to the hospital because I broke my collarbone.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember watching that. You were coming back. You could have, man, you were going to get him.
But I remember seeing that video.
Yeah. But like when I was going through that like lightheaded phase, it didn't hurt. Like I couldn't feel it until I got to the hospital and they started moving it around, and I was like, oh my god.
So did that change the way you came back to riding?
I mean, not really. I think I came back a little bit harder. I was still like a little bit of sketchy coming out of the corner because that kind of frightened me. But I worked through it. I come out of the berm smooth.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that you're racing expert and stuff, what was the biggest difference from when you turned from inner to expert?
Most definitely the riding and peer pressure.
Yeah? What do you mean the peer pressure?
Like there was more people coming to me like, dude, you're fast. You need to work more. You need to get faster than them. If you know what you can do, if you got faster than them. And it's like, it's more of a like more work harder and like play smarter and stuff like that. And it came all at me at like once. It's like, whoa.
Fair. I guess it was a little overwhelming to turn up from interdicts.
Yeah,
it is.
Most definitely the riders too. Yeah. So it got more like, I don't know how to say it. It's like,
because you're in the 17 to 20 class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 to 20 kind of eats people alive. They do got a really, really fast class.
It's not that you're fighting for the first. You're also fighting for your life.
Right. Just fighting to make the main, you know. Just at a local race is definitely one of those things. It's like
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you know, like I love racing, you know, but damn, I can be at the trails. I
mean, I get put with them pretty much every weekend.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, you know, you gotta go for it. You can't never quit. You know?
Iron sharpens iron. You get faster when you're racing fast people.
Yes, for sure.
Every time.
Yeah. So, how long have you been expert for then?
Stars and Stripe Nationals, and it was Indiana.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So
since you turned expert, have you done any nationals?
I went to Ohio right after with him. He took me. Then I went to I went to Grands. Then the next year is when I started going to nationals, and I went to a couple nationals with him again. And I went to Music City.
Yeah. How do you like the national scene? It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It gets a little bit crowded, but it's kind of relaxing, and you got all these bike shops that you can always go shop at.
Yeah. So how is it like riding expert as like, you know?
Oh, riding expert I don't know how to say it.
Do it fast.
It's like, because it's not people I'm used to riding with. Like I know what like people would do.
Yeah.
But now I'm racing with people that's like all around, and like I don't know anybody that's in my rack right now.
Yeah.
No telling if they ride dirty or not.
Right.
So it's like, it's a guessing game, and you find out when you get on the track.
Yeah, dude, it's a fast class too. Like you got Cam Bramer in there, like you get that dude in there next to you, and it's like he's gone.
Drew's fast.
Yeah,
like
dude,
there's a lot of bangers.
Yeah, Gavin Freewalk.
Yeah, so you get to a national in that class, it's just like, man, yeah, what do you do? You know, what do you do? Just chase them, try to stay close. You know.
What's going through your head when you've got all like those kinds of people, like riding with them at a national? Like, what are you thinking about?
Where's the opener? Who's gonna crash next?
yeah, who's gonna crash? You know, you just gotta think about that. What I'm telling you, you know, your plan A and plan B. You know?
Yep, you've always got a plan A going on the first trip, and then if it don't work, you got a plan B.
Yeah, visualize it.
Always has a plan B.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah,
you got to.
For sure.
And then, like, when plan B doesn't work, just go for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
See what happens.
Yep.
So what was your best results in a national and as an expert?
My best results was probably
getting to a semi? I mean, what type of step are you at? You know, I mean, like we've talked about that on the show. There's definitely multiple steps at nationals level.
Yeah,
there's getting motoed. That's obviously the first step. Getting motoed all the time, which sucks. Now we've all been there.
Yep.
And then there's making it out of your motos. You know what I'm saying? That's your second step. Then you're making it to your semis or quarters. That's your next step, you know? So what step are you at?
Most definitely getting motoed because I'm still trying to get used to what's going on right now.
Right.
I mean,
there's nothing to be ashamed, you know, because I mean, like I said, there's
I'm getting there.
There's bangers. There's, you know, get into that type of class and
there's a lot of fast people.
They've all been there and they know what they're doing. And most of the kids that are like top riders in that class have been riding at that level for,
since they were like 5.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Then like every single national I went to, it's always like, oh, what moto are you in? Oh, I'm in this moto. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
You got some fast people in your moto. It's that's what it's like. Thanks for making me nervous.
So you've never
nervous now.
So you've never made it out of a moto at the nationals?
I made it out of a moto.
Okay, so you got to a semi?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what place did you get in the semi? The dreaded 5th place?
Oh, that's 5th place. That was on your bike.
Yeah. He was called 5th place in the semi. We were calling him.
Yeah.
What were we calling you?
I was there all Nashville.
Yeah. We were calling 5th place at Nashville all weekend. What's up, 5th place?
Every weekend, every time, man.
Every day. You know, he was right there, 5th place.
It was a rough one.
Hey, everybody knows 5th place in semis. You know, like
we've all been there. Man.
It's the worst too. It's like you're right there, but like it's like that commercial with that old dude, and he's got that fishing pole. And he's like, "It'll be quicker than that." Definitely, because it's if you're not. And you're right there, dude. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like so close.
So, like, are you doing anything to try to like close that gap, like training wise? Like,
I've been doing sprints, and I've been using my rollers.
Yeah, good. Because like leg speed and that is like the first thing, because that can get you so far with just doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a lot. Like for sure, with Nick Long that was like preaching about that too. Like, Joey Real always rode rollers. Like there's some like crazy fast people that is a main portion of the like training regimen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sprints is the main one that I've heard a lot of people say. So
definitely
keep on it.
Yeah.
So where do you plan on going with your expert? You gonna hit any more nationals this year?
Probably not this year, but next year when I'm more into it and when I get faster, I'm most definitely gonna go to a lot more nationals.
Right.
Because now that I have my license, and everything, I can actually take myself and stuff like that.
Right.
Places.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just like it's a whole family thing. So it's either we go here or we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
And it's not just me as a kid. There's my brothers and my sister that have stuff to do. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a national this week, but I can't go.
Right.
But always trying to make the nationals I can.
Okay. So I got one more question. You can ask more, obviously. But we always want to ask, what one of the craziest BMX stories you have is. It can be crashing, it can be off the bike, on the bike, whatever. As long as it's got to do with BMX.
Yeah. My craziest BMX story is when you hit me in the head, hitting the triple at Rockford. Like, I was not expecting it, and I'm just trying to catch you, like, and I'm like right here, and I'm manoling the triple. Next thing you know, whoop! And there goes your tire hitting me in the head. And it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I've done that to so many people. Like, I get, when I jump triples,
you get up.
I'm a trail rider, so I like to get some air. I get a little bit more than, probably a lot bit more than most people do. Like, like even at the grands, like a lot of people like, man, dude, you get the highest out of everybody.
Like, you get up.
I don't know, but I like to get some air, which probably, be a little quicker if I didn't, but I like having fun. Yeah, I like having fun. Yeah. So are you gonna make it to grands then?
This year, I'm gonna go to grands, but I'm not really I'm not really expecting any like.
For the experience.
Yeah,
you gotta go. You gotta get.
I'm not expecting to go there and like take home a nag plate or anything.
Right. Out there to have fun.
Yeah, you just want to go compete and see all that competition out there.
Because
racing people like that is a super like it's an important thing because you learn how they ride, see their lines, and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And it is gonna be my first 1720.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna see how that is, even though I know how it's going to turn it out to be.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, you can just keep on that sprint regimen, man, and you're gonna be going fast when you get there.
Hopefully.
You gotta get down to the trails, man, and just keep on
the right
riding.
place and the right people to do it. So
yeah.
I mean, he does.
So the thing we like to ask a lot of people is, what has BMX taught you? What have you learned from BMX that you like, either as like a character trait or just like something that's taught you as like a value?
Well, being on the track with other riders, and it's not a teammate thing. It's always a ride for yourself and see how you do. So on the track, it's like it's you and only you. Don't worry about anyone else. But off the track, because there's a lot of respectful people, and it taught me how to like, if you're showing respect, I'm gonna show you respect back.
Fair.
And there's always those people. So, and it also taught me that once you start doing something, then you take a break. You're not gonna come back being the same.
Yeah.
You're not gonna expect the same performance. So there's always that.
Yeah. Stay working hard at it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to a point that you're like, man, if I would have been on it the whole time, what would I have been? You know.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, for
sure. That happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all that, I think we can close it out. You got anybody that you want to say thank you to?
Thank you to my team. Thank you for my mom for bringing me and letting me join the team.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for showing me BMX.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of fun.
Hey, no problem.
It is a wonderful world to be in the BMX world.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And so, is there also a place like that you can find where they can find you at on Facebook? You know, your Instagram or whatever.
And they're all Deonte Jackson. Snapchat's DJackson19.
Yeah, there you go. Go follow him.
Yep, go follow. Check out our boy Deonte and keep up with him. Thank you guys for watching. We want to say thanks to Dye Jobs Apparel, Mega Design Group, Ripped.
Yeah.
Go Coffee UT.
Beyond the Gate, man.
Beyond the Gate. Thank you guys for watching us. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We're working on just getting our names out there. Thanks for the time watching us. You'll like, subscribe, and comment.
See you guys next time.
Ready to watch the game.